First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Rakakodash. Yahweh is to this world ignorantly calls God. Yahushai is to this world ignorantly calls Jesus. Ba'Hashem means in the name. Rakah means spirit, and Kodash means holy. That's all in the Paleo Hebrew. Also, I'm going to give double honors to the outer bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Hey, I wanted to go into how the Lord Yahweh and his son Yahushai, they started off 2025 with a bang, man. Okay, straight judgment going forth throughout the entire earth. So the big thing that happened lately was this New Orleans truck ramming attack. Right, some dude, attacker Shamsud Din Jabbar, literally rammed through all of Burnby Street in a truck. And then after he did that, he pulled out and started just spraying people, if I remember correctly. Right, President Biden and First Lady Joe Biden are expected in New Orleans on Friday, days after an alleged terrorist rammed a truck through New Year's revelers, killing 14 people before he died during a shootout with police. Right, so, hey, this was dead ass a demon, man. This was dead ass, what's the word? Let me pull up the scripture. Ecclesiastes chapter 39 and verse 28. This is the classic going into all these whenever something happens like this. All right, spirit created for vengeance. So it says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Right, that's exactly what we just saw right here. Okay, a spirit made for vengeance. Okay, which, hey, this is crazy how the Lord works. Right, the Lord has people alive, which their whole job is to live life normally, and boom, New Year's comes, and they're on a mission now, and their mission is to bring judgment on people, to just cause mass killings, riots, whatever it is, shootings. That's their whole job. And some people might call that insane. Some people might say, oh, what kind of God is that? Why would we follow a God that's that unmerciful? You can't question what the Most High does, right? Because it says in Job that nobody ever perishes being innocent, right? So all those people that died in this shootout, got hit by a truck, is because they deserved it. They said they did some type of wickedness that the Lord saw that judgment was fit for them. Okay, and the shooter himself, that was a judgment on him too. Dying in a shootout, that's judgment. So the Lord knocked out two birds with one stone. He judged the shooter, and he judged whoever the shooter killed. And that's difficult, right? The concept, it says that righteous people, the righteous men, understand judgment. Let's get that, right? Because you can't understand judgment without the concept of reincarnation. Okay? A lot of people will say, oh, why did that little kid die so young, right? 2 years old. He didn't even do anything. Not knowing that that spirit that was in the baby is being judged. It's not the baby, the flesh on the outside. It's the spirit, right? So in the last life, that spirit must have done some wickedness, which is paying for it as a little child. Okay, that's judgment right there. So, let's get it in Judge. I can never find the scripture for some reason. Yeah, I can never find the scripture, but it pretty much goes into how the righteous understand judgment, but the wicked don't. And let me see one more place. I think it's in Daniel chapter 12. Right. I could get this one. This is Daniel chapter 12 and verse 10. It says, many shall be purified and made white and tried. Right, that's going into the righteous. Okay. The righteous being tried, going into the trials and tribulations. It says, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. Right, so going into how the wise, okay, the righteous, we understand everything that's going on. Okay, we understand that, hey, death is just part of the equation. Right, judgment is on the other side of the equation. Okay, hey, nothing happens by coincidence. So the Lord started off 2025 with a bang. Okay, and there's a lot of people talking about how 2025 is going to be a year of mass death. Right, the Apostle Tahar himself, he coined the year Okay, the year of hopeful salvation and destruction, judgment of Esau. Right, and we start off with this, and that's literally on point. There's this numerologist, which I don't recommend going into that if you're not fully built up in the truth. Right, you got a foundation of the knowledge, right? But it's not wicked to go and search out, understand the left-hand side, right? You don't deal with it. You don't go into it, practice it. You just understand it. And there's this guy that I follow on my Twitter, and he himself is saying that, according to all the numerology, astrology, Chinese shit, that 2025 is going to be a year of mass death, right? So that's another point hinting towards what the prophets, the 144,000, have been talking about, right? How a judgment is coming, right? And one thing I want to point out too is that the left hand and the right hand side, they all agree. Everything is ordained by the Most High ultimately, right? You can get knowledge of what's going to happen in the future by the left hand side is just not convenient, right? Because the Lord can judge you through that. The right way to do it is to seek it out in the scriptures, right? Search it out in the scriptures, right? That's the right hand way to do it. And let's actually go straight to that. Let's go straight to that. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 6, it says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." Right, so that right there is looking into the future. Okay, Yahushua himself telling you what's going to come. Okay, civil war, right? Kingdom against kingdom. War in general, famines. Okay, people not having food. That's something that's really going to awaken these Americans, is once they can't go to their local McDonald's and get a 6-piece chicken McNugget, when they can't go to Walmart and just buy their bag of Doritos with Mountain Dew, That's when these Americans are really going to start riling up, because something I've noticed is that as long as you give these people their little Netflix, their entertainment, and you give them fast food, that literally is enough for these people. It's enough to just keep on slaving away and working for pennies. It's insane, because in other countries such as Europe, France, Italy, as soon as these people have some type of inconvenience, you see these people go out and start rioting. Okay, you see these people cause a commotion to literally make a change. But these Americans are so dumbed down that they don't even think about that, right? If every single American were to come together and literally stop working one day, they literally just come together, we could stop all these problems today, but these people are under a grand deception, and ultimately it's not the will of the Lord. But it says all these are the beginning of sorrow. So once we start seeing these things, famine, everything that was listed, it's just the beginning. It's only going to get worse. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Right? So, people not being in that loving spirit anymore. Right? Something that just came into my mind is, I want to see what these so-called Christians do when all this shit starts collapsing. Right? I want to see if they're still in that love everybody spirit. Right? If they're in that love everybody spirit when they realize they don't got no food at house and Jesus ain't answering. That's something that I'm gonna keep in mind. I'm gonna note. But it says, "And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." Right? And that's what we're seeing right now. Iniquity, wickedness abounding. And the love of many is going to wax cold. Okay, it's gonna disappear. So it says, the FBI and Department of Homeland Security on Friday issued a bulletin to approximately 18,000 law enforcement agencies across the country, including many local police and sheriff departments, warning those who wear the uniform to be hyper-vigilant regarding copycat attacks after the bloodshed seen on Bourbon Street. The bulletin speaks to how ISIS has promoted vehicle attacks for a decade and provides signs law enforcement should be on the lookout for. And that's another thing that just came to my mind, is how you have this lady going into how ISIS or the Al-Qaeda have hundreds of people inside this country ready to do suicide attacks. So pretty much run up into a group of people and just blow themselves up and blow up all the people. And she said that after those people do that, and that the emergency people come up, emergency responders, first responders, that another guy is going to come up and blow up the first responders. So let me see if I can actually find that real quick. Suicide bombers, ISIS in America, woman says. Probably won't find it searching it up like that. But I did see it on my YouTube. Let's pull that up, just so I can bring out the information. I was watching a brother's video. Let's pull it up. Or Dabu7, I think he himself was going into it. Right here, if you see the former CIA officer warns that there are more than 1,000 Al-Qaeda sleepers. Let's search that up. Former CIA officer warns Al-Qaeda sleeper. Allsides.com. Former CIA officer warns 1,000 Al-Qaeda fighters in U.S. for next homeland attack. Interview cuts off. Zero Hedge. It's from Zero Hedge. Wow. Just cuts off there. Let's see if we can find another website going into it. Instagram. I don't have Instagram. Twitter. Let's see that. The Gateway Pundit. Former CIA officer warns there are more than 1,000 Al-Qaeda sleepers in the U.S. planning major homeland attacks. Right, we know that. We've known that since they opened the borders, right? And you saw all types of Chinese nationals, Ukrainian nationals, Arab nationals crossing through the border, right? And one thing you saw is it was all military-aged men, right? It was a bunch of men lined up trying to enter the border with no families, no kids, no women, just men. That's not how normally families operate, So we saw that. Another thing also is one of those people that was crossing, it was like an Arab guy, and he was being interviewed, right? Some guy was going around saying, "What are you here for?" And I guess the guy interviewing pissed off the Arab guy, and the Arab guy said, "Hey, you're not going to be laughing very soon. You're not going to be laughing." It turns out this guy was caught here in America, and he was a ISIS terrorist. He was an ISIS terrorist. So they're definitely in here. In a recent interview offers significant insights into what may be unfolding as Al-Qaeda sleeper cells could be activating in the new wake of the New Orleans terrorist attack and a possible vehicle-borne improvised explosive device in the rear of a rented Tesla Cybertruck that exploded outside Trump's hotel in Las Vegas just hours later. Right, so I myself have to watch that and see exactly what she was saying to be more informed, because I don't want to be talking out my ass. But the point is that more judgment, more all types of attacks, shootings are coming, and it's all the will of the Lord. The Lord is going to turn this place up. Let's just finish it off with Daniel chapter 12. Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1, it says, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book." Right, and the ones written in the book, going into the book of life, is going into the elect, the 1/3 of the nation of Israel. Right, but the key point is that there's going to be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. Right, so a time like never before seen. Okay, a time worse than ancient Egypt and what the Lord did to those Egyptians. Okay, worse than World War I, World War II. Okay, every single war. Okay, the Black Plague, all of that. It's going to be worse. So go look at what happened during those time periods and combine it all and add more. Okay, because that's what the Lord is bringing. And if you ain't right with him, you're going to suffer a terrible judgment. So I'll leave it at that. Hopefully it was edifying. With that, and give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Shalom to you, like Shalom.